You guys ever heard of Lego Fortnite? It's one of the many game modes they've added to their library, and at first I didn't care because I honestly thought it was just gonna be Battle Royale but with Lego characters. But upon trying the game with some of my friends, it turned out to be just Minecraft with Legos, which is a good thing for me because I just lost my count for Minecraft. So in order to fill that urge to, just gather resources in the video game, this game mode just arrived in time to satisfy my needs. And I'm pretty sure I have a good feeling that this game mode has the potential to blow up someday. The first thing I noticed upon playing the game is how beautiful the game looks. I thought that since it's Lego themed, the entire world would be just all blocky. But to my surprise, they decided to make the environment really pretty to look at. Seeing the sun during golden hour just makes me take the time to, just enjoy the view and take a moment to just take it in. You should have seen some of the lightning storms in this game too. It's pretty epic. You can even tell if lightning is about to hit close to you because the ground will start getting electrified, like Thor, Odin's son, is about to land directly from Asgard. I know this detail is probably insignificant for most people, but I really like how the lightning storms are handled in this game. But upon opening the build menu, it kind of looks intimidating to approach because everything's just out there and it looks cluttered. But after putting some hours in the game, you eventually get somewhat familiar to how it works, and you kind of don't notice it as much. Once you've gathered enough resources and start getting used to how the game works, your next objective should be to upgrade the crafting bench, because this is when the game starts getting interesting, because the reward you get from progressing the crafting bench is it lets you make other machines that give you special tools or decorations, or some of them could be in the form of upgrades for your village. One of the special machines you get to make is called a lumber mill, and you use this to make barrels or chests. And then you can also get a loom to make hang gliders, which is pretty fun to use. By the way, while making this video, I just learned what a loom is. Apparently this is used to make clothes and shit, but yeah, these are just some of the few examples of the machines you get to take advantage of once you progress the crafting bench. I kind of like how they did this progression system because the build menu is already complicated as is. By having the player slowly unlock the items over time, it kind of gives you a goal to strive for and it won't feel overwhelming to the player. The village in this game is also pretty important to build, and as soon as you unlock it, you might want to prioritize upgrading it as fast as you can, because that's how you're going to unlock all the specialized equipment, and you're also going to get some villagers to come visit you. Upgrading the village is similar to the crafting bench, where you have to collect certain items in order to level up. Each level has certain rewards that you can take advantage from. The rewards could range from unlocking more crafting recipes or even having the ability to recruit more people in the village. You can even unlock more ways for these recruits to contribute to the village. It can help you gather resources, farm the crops, or even assist you with exploration by chopping down trees or your enemies. The villagers in this game will make your life easier, which is why it's essential to start upgrading the village and the crafting bench as soon as you can. What's cool about the villagers is they don't really need much. What I mean by that is they only need a bed and they're pretty much good to work. Like, this is the type of people that Jeff Bezos expects to work at Amazon. But for me, I'm nothing like Jeff Bezos. I used to house my villagers in a broken-ass house with a roof that's definitely not OSHA approved by any means, and it still hasn't stopped them from working at all. You'd think that the villagers would throw a hissy fit from poor working conditions, but they're still pretty happy to work there for free and contribute to the village in any way they can. I'm very lucky that this game doesn't have the option for them to unionize. Otherwise, I'd be left with no employees due to the inhumane workplace practice. Anyways, if you think resource gathering is pretty lame, you might be more interested in inventing crazy contraptions like your Rick Sanchez. But in the game, they have a tab for engineers called Toys. It gives you balloons, thrusters, and wheels, and if you connect them to this platform, you can basically invent anything you want with enough ingenuity and imagination. Like, you can go pretty wild with some of the things you create. They're able to build like monorail systems, cars, and even the battle bus from Fortnite. It really seems like the possibilities in this tab is limitless, but I'll be honest, this section is still pretty barren. So there might be other things they could add to this list in the future, which is exciting for the tinkerers out there. But for me, I'm trying to make some sort of flying device, Wright Brothers style, and it didn't really go well for me.
You gotta turn it on once in a while.
How are we gonna drop down though?
I didn't figure that part out yet. How about there?
Oh,
okay,
no.
But I feel like that's part of the fun of this tab. Just getting to tinker with the stuff and just seeing what you can invent. You can already see it. Just imagine what these inventors would do once they add more stuff from this tab. You also have the option to allow hostile mobs in the game, but just know, most of these mobs are kinda okay. They're basic ass enemies you expect, like skeletons or wild animals. They really aren't bringing anything new to the table. But then, I met the Brute. The Brute is by far my favorite mob in the game, just because they are these big, hulky monsters that just roam the lands and just start beefing with any animal around them. Like, I saw this Brute trying to fight a chicken just because he can, and if you think they're probably not that tough, I tried running the ones with this guy and died from his stank-ass breath.
I'm so fucking trash!
Overall, this single mob is pretty cool. In fact, it's probably the only memorable enemy in this game mode for me. The rest are kind of mid. After playing this game for a couple of days, I can honestly say this game has potential. However, my experience in this game hasn't always been perfect. There are still a lot of problems in this game that's kind of holding it back. The first one that really bothered me is the inventory space. They really got to do something about it because I feel like I never have enough room to carry anything. Especially when you fight the skeletons, always drop broken ass swords and crossbow, which clutters my inventory space all the damn time. A temporary solution would be just to build more chests, right? But it's always a two-step process to make just one chest. You always have to obtain the wood, then you have to process it through the lumber mill to make planks. Then, once you have enough planks, you now have the ability to craft a chest. Even after you craft a chest, it's not even a good solution because inventory space in that chest is more limited than the one that your character carries around. They really expect me to work with 10 storage spaces. Like, that's wild. So my temporary solution is just to build a bunch of these chests all around, just to store the items I need. They do offer bigger chests that you could build, but in my opinion, it's not worth the effort to make it. The materials required are just so damn expensive. You're honestly better off just crafting more of the basic ass chests to save time and resources. One of the contributing factors to why it always feels like my inventory space is full is because the items in this game don't stack on their own. You have to do it manually. In games like Minecraft, if you pick up a bunch of the same items, they all get neatly put in one stack of 64. And then once that stack is filled, they start to produce another stack till the maximum number is reached. In this game, you have to manually stack the items in order to consolidate your resources. I cannot tell you the amount of times I've had to double check my inventory space to see if it's actually full and not artificially inflated because of the game's bad mechanics. I feel like the automatic stacking feature should have been added from the start. This merge button doesn't even work most of the time. And even if it does work, it takes the items off of my hotbar and puts it into my inventory space. Like, don't you think that since I put it in my quick access bar, it probably means it's important to me, right? So why would I want to transfer it back to my inventory space after merging it? Like, it feels like I'm doing twice as much work as I should be doing because the devs just forgot to add this quality of life change inside the game. Resource gathering in this game isn't perfect, but it's okay. I personally feel like the resource gathering takes a little bit too long in my opinion. Some people may disagree with me on this point, but I feel like you run out of materials too quickly and have to farm them way too often. And the amount of distance you have to travel just to get these resources is ridiculous. I mean, it's not like you can keep a tree farm close by. Like, you literally have to venture out in the wild before you can begin the process of chopping the wood down, and then also traveling back to your village to store them. Like, I feel like they should really consider giving you more resources depending on how rare your equipment is. Like, for example, if I'm using like a rare pickaxe, it should give you more resources than, let's say, the basic ass tools you craft at the very beginning. Like, I don't know. Maybe they could just let us do a tree farm close to the village so I don't have to go too far. But we'll see what they do about that. But for now, resource gathering is kind of a pain in the ass. And I cannot tell you the worst part about obtaining resources is when the game asks you to collect items like knot root. Allegedly, this resource is supposed to spawn very often. From my experience, this knot root is gone once you've collected them. They never respawn for me. I hope in the future they at least fix that to make it more consistent so it actually regrows, or they could just make it as common as the cactus you find in the desert. But if they think that's asking too much, they should just make the crafting recipes cheaper for knotroot, or increase the amount of wood they drop upon chopping it down. It doesn't make sense that flexwood is easier to find than knotroot. They gotta fix that, for real. I also hate the fact that you're literally powerless without a crafting bench. If you even want to craft something as simple as a torch, why would I need a crafting bench to attach a vine to a stick? I think that's just dumb. In order to make a torch, you literally have to build a crafting bench, and then you are now given permission to craft a torch. If I want to craft tools, I get it. You know, you most likely need a crafting bench to make more advanced tools, but a torch...
Are you serious right now, bro?
Since we're on the subject of crafting bench, I hate that you have to re-upgrade your crafting bench every time you want to make one. But why can't the crafting bench just stay upgraded as soon as we unlock it? Doesn't make sense that I have to travel thousands of miles just to use one crafting bench. Like, it just seems so inconvenient that if I want to keep using the same crafting recipes, I'd need to travel with all the materials required to upgrade that bench and just relocating the whole damn thing. The other option I'd probably do is just start all over, you know, just build every little machine to refine the materials I need. But I think making the crafting progression, just having it carry over for every bench you create, is just a better quality of life change in my opinion. Speaking of annoying, have you guys tried to sleep on the bed in this game, you know, to make nighttime into day? Well, me and my friends tried to skip nighttime through this process and it didn't work. I thought this would be the natural way to allow time to fast forward, but then that's when I found out this game currently has no way to skip the night segment. You just have to wait for sunrise to appear, which is kind of lame in my opinion, because the game gets really dark without a torch or a campfire. And if you decide to venture out into the night, it gets really dangerous to traverse anywhere due to low visibility, and not to mention that there's a bunch of mobs out there that are gonna jump your ass as soon as you leave the village. I'm starting to think that Fortnite really wants us to fight the ops at night. Like, bruh, I don't got time to fight the undead for territory. I'd rather just focus on upgrading the village. For real though, they really gotta add a feature to fast forward time on our own accord, not just waiting for the game to become sunny again. Another feature I thought they would kind of steal from Minecraft is the domestication of animals. I tried looking up ways to do so. Problem is the mobs will despawn if you go too far. Yes, you can feed animals certain products so they can actually give you stuff in return, but the moment you go out and start exploring, that mob you spent days meticulously planning its imprisonment just disappears. But in order to get food or animal products, you really have to live a nomadic lifestyle in the game, which doesn't make sense if my crafting bench is sold separately and requires some assembly to even get tools that I want. I feel like half of this video turned into a rant, but I'd like to think of it as constructive criticism. Don't get me wrong, this game is still pretty fun to play, despite all the flaws that I just mentioned. The way I see it, they just need to add some quality of life changes for the player in order to make the game better. I really feel like most of these problems can be easily overlooked, but I think for the game to do well, they gotta start changing some things for player convenience. If you're on the fence about trying this game mode, I say just try it and see if you like it. But for sure, try the sandbox mode with all the engineering stuff. I think that tab by itself is just cool to mess around with, but I'm not gonna lie, Fortnite has been upgrading its game modes lately, and I might have to check them out in a later video because, in my opinion, Fortnite is in a really good place right now. So it's just worth the download just to check out all the new changes they've added since the launch 6 years ago. Well, damn, that statement just made me feel old. But that's all I got for you guys today. Go ahead and like and subscribe. I'm almost at 500 subscribers. It'd be cool to reach that soon. But anyways, guys, appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.